Hello students, in today's video we are going to be looking at writing the linear equation in slope-intercept form from either slope-intercept. When slope and intercept are given to you from a verbal description, we're given 2 points, point and the slope, or a table, and from a graph. So here what we do is go ahead and fold this into the middle, and then we will look at our various examples. So first is going to be slope and y-intercept. So here we have the problem: write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 1/3 and a y-intercept of -5. So remember that slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. From there we identify our slope. Here is m. So m equals 1/3. Your y-intercept is the b. So in this case, b equals -5. So we simply take the slope-intercept form, substitute in the values of 1/3 for m and -5 for b, and there we have our equation in slope-intercept form. The next example is a word problem. When a tow truck is called, the cost C of M of the service is $10 plus $1 per mile. That car must be towed. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that represents the situation. So the pertinent information we need is right here. Our slope is our rate of change, which is $1 per mile. So that's going to be $1 per mile. Our y-intercept is our constant, which is the 10. So there we have $10. So we simply write y equals the slope times x plus the y-intercept, or simplified, y equals x plus 10. So things changed at a rate of $1 per mile, so that's where we got our slope, which is also our rate of change, and $10 is our initial amount, and it doesn't change, and that would be your y-intercept. So from a graph, says write the equation of the graph line in slope-intercept form. So the easiest thing to find right here is your y-intercept. So the y-intercept here, which is b, is -1. To find our slope, we look at the change in y over the change in x, and here is a second point on the line that they have given us. So to go from the y-intercept over to this other point that they've graphed, we go up 2, so that's a positive change of 2, and then we're going to go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's going to be a run change of -5. So our slope is going to be a positive 2 over a -5, so we just say -2/5. Substitute our slope into the equation, substitute our y-intercept into the equation, and we are done. So again, start here at your y-intercept, then move from one point to another on the line to figure out what your slope is, and then substitute those values into the formula. Here we have 2 examples. We'll start with this one here. It says write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that contains the points -1, 7 and 3, -1. So first off, I have a first point, which is x sub 1, y sub 1. Then I have a second point of x sub 2, y sub 2. So I need to find the slope of those. So that is going to be, putting them into a table is going to help us first with that. So we'll just put the first point there, second point here. How do we get from 7 to -1? To do that, we're going to subtract 8. So our change in y is 8. Over here, our change in x is a positive 4. So our slope then is going to be -8 over 4, which ends up to be -2. So here I have a point and I have a slope. So I can take and substitute some values into here. So what we do is we have a slope of -2, so m is -2. Our x value here is 3. We don't know what the y-intercept is, but that's going to equal y because mx plus b equals y. That's what our form says. So now we can just solve for b. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus b equals negative 1. Add 6 to both sides, and we find that b is going to equal 5. Now that we know b, and we know that this is our slope here of negative 2, we simply put it into the equation. Y equals negative 2 x plus 5. So this is the equation of the line that passes through both of these 2 points. For a second example, they give us the slope. It says write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that contains the point negative 3, negative 2, and has a slope of 3. So here we know that m equals 3. We don't know what the y-intercept is, so we'll use the point to help us find that. So we know that slope is 3. We know that our x value is negative 3. But we don't know what b is. And that, when we figure that out, we'll be able to get the y. So 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, plus b is going to equal that y value of negative 2. To solve for b, we're going to add 9 to both sides. So we end up with b equals 7. So then the equation of this line is going to be y equals m, which we already know is 3, x plus b. So we get y equals 3x plus 7. So to recap, if they give you the slope and the y-intercept, simply substitute the values into the formula and you have your equation. When you are given a word problem, find your rate of change, find your initial amount, substitute those values in for the slope and the y-intercept, and you have your equation. When you are given a graph, look at the graph for where it crosses the y-axis, and that is your y-intercept. Use that point and another point on the line to count out the slope, and then simply substitute those values into the equation. When you are given 2 points, use those 2 points to find your slope, which we did here with our change in y over change in x, and we found that it was negative 2. Then we went ahead and used the 3, negative 1 to help us find the y-intercept. So we substituted in the slope, the x value plus b equals y. And y in this case is negative 1. So then we just went through the process of simplifying, solving, and found that b was 5. So now we know that m is negative 2, b is 5. Substitute those values into the formula, so y is going to equal negative 2x plus 5. On this side, they gave us 1 point and they gave us a slope. So all we have to do here is find that y-intercept. Again, we're going to use our x and our y and the slope that they give us, substitute in for the things that we know, and then solve for what we don't know. Use the slope that you were given, use the y-intercept you just found, plug those into the formula, and you have your equation in slope-intercept form. So this has been writing an equation in slope-intercept form, given slope and y-intercept, graph, 2 points, and a verbal description.